getting into that mindset of wanting something so bad that you will do anything to make it happen, that's when the magic happens. Welcome, friends. We are your hosts, Sandy and Wade, baby best friends turned husband and wife and business partners.
This podcast is for the dreamers, the movers and shakers, and those who seek to attract their dream life.
Strap in. Getting magnetic in 3, 2, 1.
Like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way.
This moment in time, this is your time to rise.
Oh, we got a fiery one today.
This could change your life.
This could change your whole world. Man, where do we begin? This is like a success.
You're already sweating. I literally see sweat coming out of your nose pores.
I'm sweating. I'm ready to drop some heat. Like, this is a success series. This is like kicking the butt. Like, let's go. It's go time, the last few episodes. So I referenced Eric Thomas on a previous episode. I'm going to bring him back into it because you guys, if you don't listen, who are your mentors? Let's start there, actually. Like, who do you listen to? Whether it's people in person or I literally listen to YouTube videos of Eric Thomas, of Oprah, of Tony Robbins, of Joe Dispenza, of all these different people that inspire me, especially when I'm looking to be like fired up. I'll listen to Eric Thomas. He has an amazing kind of motivational video that Sandy and I are like, ooh, let's recreate that for Getting Magnetic. And the title is, When You Want to Succeed as Bad as You Want to Breathe, Then You'll Be Successful.
I remember first hearing this story. It's actually a video on YouTube. Literally, you could Google right now, When You Want to Breathe as Bad as You Want to Succeed, Eric Thomas. And it's literally a video of him like in a classroom. Mm-hmm. That's the video that you need to watch. So basically, I remember first time seeing it and feeling chills to my core.
Yes.
Like my mom would call it, she's so funny, she's foreign. She didn't know it was called goosebumps. She called them goose pimples. So embarrassing. So I love my mom.
I love foreigners so much.
But like it would be what my mom would call goose pimples. Like you will get goose pimples all over your body because it's going to move you and shake you and like rattle you to your core and like really make you think like, whew, man, I have been maybe more excuses focused than results focused, like we talked about last week, right? So let's get into this story. Let's set the stage.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is story mode. And then we'll go into maybe where we've applied this or seen this in our life. But so this guy, right? He goes to this guru. He wants to be successful. He wants to make money. He wants to be wealthy. So he goes up to this guru. He's like, hey, I want to make money. I want to be wealthy. I want to be successful. The guru's like, you want to be successful? You want to make money? He's like, yeah, real bad. He goes, okay, meet me at the beach tomorrow, 4 a.m. He's like, the beach? We're talking about making money. Like, what? Why did we go to the beach? He said, you want to be successful? Yeah. Meet me at the beach tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the
guy's thinking like, I don't want to swim.
He's like, wait, I'm bringing my swim trunk? Like, what the heck? So he dresses for success. He gets his suit on and he shows up at the beach at 4 a.m. He meets the guru there. Guru's there. Says, come with me. They start walking out into the water. He's got his shoes and his suit on and everything. And they start walking out in the water. He's like, man, what is going on? Like, I want to make money. We're in the ocean. Like, what's happening? He goes, come with me. He brings him out a little deeper. Hey, they get to chest level. And he goes, you want to be successful, right? And he's like, yeah, what the heck are we doing? Guru grabs his head, dips it underwater, and lets him back up. And he's like, man, what was that? He's like, you want to be successful, right? Yes. Like, yeah, but what the heck are we doing here? Grabs his head, dunks it underwater. Holds him a little bit longer that time and lets him up. He's like, you want to be successful, right? He's like, yes. Still, what are we doing? Why do you keep doing that? Grabs his head, holds him underwater. Little bit longer, and lets him up. And now he's kind of like, whoa, he's kind of shook a little bit. He's like, how bad do you want to be successful? He's like, real bad. Dunks his head under again. And this time,
freaking holds him under.
He holds him under and holds him under and holds him under.
You know that feeling. Have you ever been underwater, like maybe pummeled in a wave or something, and you don't know when you're going to get your next breath?
Oh, yeah. So then he starts squirming and getting like, holds him under a little longer and lets him up. And he's like, what do you want? And every other time he's like, to be successful, sir, to be successful. He's like, what do you want? He lets him up. He's like, he can't even talk because he's just gasping for air. He's like, to breathe, sir. And the guru goes, when you want to succeed, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And it dawned on him. And that was a story, but it's like, now we think about our life. Like, you know what Sandy just said, those moments, if you've ever been in the ocean, caught under a wave or anything, or you're holding your breath and like all you care about in the entire world is your next breath, is getting that breath of oxygen into your lungs so you can live. Because guess what? We can go like 40 days or longer without eating. We can go a week or so without drinking water.
I thought it was like 3 days.
Maybe 3 days. You can only go minutes without breathing. So then you apply it to how bad you want something in your life. How bad do you really want it? It might be impossible to reach that level of as bad as you want to breathe, but you got to go for that. That's got to be your standard. You got to be so clear and so hungry for what you want to make it happen. So let's evaluate like what we want in our life, or let's think about stories. I think about when we were in our network marketing business and looking to promote to the very top level. 1% of people do it. It's hard. It's not easy. It's intense. It's focus. That was one of those times, one of those moments where I felt like we woke up and everything in our life was centered around this. And we were out of balance. We were super intensely focused. And it was one of those moments as close as I feel like I've gotten to when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. And we made it happen. It was not easy. There was hurdles, there was strife, there was stress, there was triumph, there was failure. But every day woke up like hungry for it. Hungry. It like, I want to breathe and I want this. And we're going for it.
I feel that too. I felt that so much when I started my business, like before you even locked arms with me. Yeah. Like I was so scared of what people would think of me. I was like, okay, I'm the type of person when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And it scared me because I didn't know how. And a lesson I want you to take from this episode, it doesn't matter how, anything. I'm talking about a living situation, a relationship, finances, a job, whatever it is that you're working through. It doesn't matter how it's going to come to you. You just need to be so focused on why. And you need to trust that when you're focused on why and you're doing things like in integrity and with passion, like it's going to happen for you. But we don't know when, right? You have to release that timeline. That's the hardest part. But I remember when I started, I was so like over trying so many things and just feeling like I hadn't found my thing. Like I feel like, I'd owned my own business before. I'd worked for people. I'd worked for corporate. I'd worked in restaurants. I worked in like 10 different industries. And I was like, is this just going to be another thing? And people will be like, oh, Sandy's still trying to figure it out. She's like a little lost cause. Like I didn't want that. And then the fuel that was given to me by close friends and family telling me like, Sandy, this is not going to work. Like it works for some people, but it's just, you don't have the skills for that. Or that's just, you don't have the network, or like talking down to me, like that gave me the fuel. And literally I sat down with a pen and paper and I wrote down, what is the price that I will pay if I don't do this? And that was a scary letter to myself of just like, whoa, what will my life look like if I don't do this? What's the pain that my family and I will experience if I don't take these risks, if I don't put myself out there? I'm going to live a life of financial stress. I'm going to live a life of not knowing how we're going to be able to go on that trip, give back to that organization, help people in need. Like I'm never going to know how to do that because I'm going to be barely scraping by to help myself pay the bills. And I'm like, that's not the life I want to live. And so I got so grounded in like that pain point of like, I'm done playing small, that it gave me like the fuel to be like, I will do whatever it takes. So I think getting so grounded in why you want something and then releasing how and just freaking going for it. Like when it's wanted so badly as your desire to stay in existence, keep breathing, right? Like getting that next breath of air when you're being held under and you feel like you're about to drown, you will make it happen. So how do you get there? Like, how do you get to that space where it's like, I'm doing this?
Yeah, like you said, it's grounded in the why. It's like when it's bigger than you, when it's for your children, your family, when it's outside of you, we'll keep going for someone else. Like longer than we'll keep going for ourselves. Like that's the truth. But I think it is grounded in that why. And I think evaluate, like, you want to create something in your life. How bad do you actually want it? Do you want it more than you want to watch the latest Netflix series? Do you want it more than you want to watch TV? Do you want it more than your comfort zone? Do you want it more than going out and partying with your friends? Do you want it more than your nights? Do you want it more than getting tons of sleep and sleeping in? Do you want it more than sleeping from 5 to 7 a.m.? Or do you want to get up at 5 and start working on your dreams? Or do you want to stay up later and start working on your dreams? How bad do you want your dreams? Do you want it as bad as you want to breathe? Do you want it more than you want to eat? I remember hearing Beyonce once was so focused on, she was recording an album and shooting a movie at the same time. And there's this, it's almost this like maybe even an urban legend. I would love to know if it's true or not. I believe it. I'm a general just believer of things. You tell me something, I believe it. She didn't eat for 3 days on set because she was so focused. She was working, she barely slept, and she'd wake up and get to work, and like she just forgot to eat. Like she just didn't even think about it. She wasn't focused on it. And she went 3 days and was like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten in 3 days because I'm obsessed. I'm intensely laser focused. I am so clear on what I want. And I'm here creating it, and I'm in the flow state, and I'm in that moment. And when you're in that state, you just got to keep going and keep going and keep going. Like leave the distractions behind, even the meal, the food, the show, the friend, the meeting up for lunch, whatever. Like stay in the zone and go. And I've seen Sandy do that too. She'll be in the zone. She'll forget to eat it. It'll be like 2 p.m. and she'll be like, oh, wait a sec. Not as much in a pregnancy or breastfeeding. You usually to find your way to a meal.
I remember my meals now.
But yeah, she remembers her meals now. But like I've seen you in those zones where you're like, oh, I forgot to eat today. I gotta get something to eat because you're so focused.
I was talking to someone the other day that was telling me that she was so focused on leveling up in her business, but she didn't have enough money to go to this really important conference. Meanwhile, I happen to know that this specific person just got a ton of plastic surgery. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. Spend $10,000 on a tummy tuck and Botox and fake boobs, but then when you need to spend $500 to go to this life-changing conference that's going to completely reignite your soul and get you closer towards where you want to go, you can't do it. So it's like, evaluate, like, are your actions in alignment with your vision? Like really think about that. We've all had chapters where our actions are not in alignment with our vision, but like when you're living in that state where you're, scarcity focused, you're fear focused, you're focused on the excuses, you're focused on the playing small, you're focused on the things that are excusing you from not being where you want to be. It's like, just take, like we talked about last episode, like take ownership of like, gosh, I am where I am because of the choices that I've made. And so getting into that mindset of wanting something so bad that you will do anything to make it happen, that's when the magic happens. Like find a way to get there. And when you get there, stay there. Like that is such a magical place to be in. It can be really hard to get to that space, but it's like, get there, stay there, bring people there into that zone with you. The more people vibing in that energy, all doing that together, the more freaking, I'm trying to even think a word for it. Like I'm seeing this whole vision in my brain and I don't even know how to communicate it. It's a really good thing is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. And the cool, like these periods of intense focus will put you so far ahead in life, but know that it's, you aren't always you aren't perpetually for life in the, I want to succeed as bad as I want to breathe today, day after day after day. These are like a 6-month focus or a 2-year focus. And you go kind of in and out of the ebbs and flows, the seasonality of wanting it as bad as you want to breathe. You put together 2 back-to-back 90-day cycles towards your goal. 6 months of intense focus can put you 5 years ahead.
That's all it takes.
6 months, 2 back-to-back 90-day cycles can put you 5, 10 years ahead. Get intensely focused and obsessed with what you want. Get super clear on it, why you want it, and you'll get it. Just keep going. Keep going for it. I think that's all we got today. You got anything else?
No, my heart is pounding.
My
I'm so
heart's
excited to
pounding.
see what you guys create. Let us know what this brought up for you. Send this to someone that needs to hear this. And we are living, breathing proof. And you are too, that when you want it so bad, nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. So go make it happen.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
So remember, you are magnetic.